this is pretty crazy. Harris went to Atlanta yesterday. The venue sat only 10,000 people. Smart of them to go to one that it was, rather small at the beginning. Apparently, there was an attempt by over 25,000 people to come. They had lines going across the highway. Now, I don't know Atlanta, but it was pretty crazy. Here's a picture of that. And, you see pictures of this in the lead up to a rally, and you're like, well, I don't know Atlanta well enough. Maybe they needed to do this. Maybe this is just the safest way to do it, or maybe they thought it would make a show. This you cannot fake. Here is Morehouse College graduate Tyler Green introducing Harris at this Atlanta rally, which I think is really her first. Is it her first rally that she's done, or at least the most widely promoted one? I think. Let me put it this way: it was the first rally that was done when she was officially the only person whose hat was in the ring to be a nominee. Nobody else had crossed the threshold, and people seem a little excited here. But you can assess this. I'll report. You decide.
Now, it's my honor to introduce the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
There she goes, of course, laughing.
Cackling.
Totally cackling during...
As if she's on stage with thousands of adoring people.
In front of 10,000 people who are screaming at the top of their lungs.
Should also just mention that Megan the Stallion was in attendance, which is a key endorsement along with Labor, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know who that is, but be that as it may, nobody's surprised that I don't know who that is. But you couple this with the report with $200 million raised, a significant portion of that small donor, with hundreds of thousands now, it seems, new volunteer signups. Where you see polling jumps and registration bumps. There's the polling that has already come out has been just extraordinary. I mean, I think people are going to look back on this. If she wins. I mean, if she doesn't win, I think it won't have amounted to anything. But there is a Susquehanna poll out yesterday showing Harris with a 4-point lead in the polls with a plus or minus 4% margin of error in Pennsylvania from 722 to 728. So that was before like she was even like locked in as the nominee. More, I think, telling, at least at this juncture, is Bloomberg Morning Consult. She was 48 to 47% nationally. But across the surveyed swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, the gap between the candidates is now within the poll's statistical margin of error. More than 1/3 of voters in the 7 battleground states say they're much more likely to vote now that the contest is between Trump and Harris. That's stunning. Over 1/3 say they are much more likely to vote now. And it's not because they're like, I'm really into Trump now all of a sudden. The numbers rose to 50% and 44%, 49% rather, and 44% among Black and Hispanic voters, respectively. Much more likely to vote. You got to assume a certain percentage of people, outside of that, were already like, I'm about as likely to vote as you can get. I'm going to vote. So this is what you're seeing, a rise in enthusiasm. And let's be clear, like, you have a subset of both parties have people there who are super enthused, and their enthusiasm is really sort of irrelevant. It doesn't tell you anything because they're fanatics and they're going to vote either way, whether it's, MAGA or, vote blue, anybody, vote blue no matter who or whatever. And so what you're seeing are people who were contemplating sitting on the sidelines. And that type of enthusiasm, that increase of enthusiasm is really important. Almost 2/3 of Black voters say they're now somewhat or much more likely to cast ballots in November. Harris's candidacy appears to have boosted Democratic prospects in places like Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia. Like I said earlier, opening up more paths. She's comfortably ahead in Michigan, slightly ahead in Wisconsin. Trump leads, according to this new poll, in Pennsylvania, but again, within the statistical margin of error. It's a big deal. So we will see. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.